everybody, and welcome back to another fine episode of Goonies World. I am Meanie, also known as Ryan, and I am joined, as always, by Johnny Farrow, also known as Sean.
Hey, hey, hey.
And Goonie, also known as Colin.
That's me. Hello.
And joining us once again to wrap up this adventure is Lunicorn, also known as Lynn.
Howdy, howdy.
Yeah, and we are playing Maze Rats tonight, and I think we determined last time that my recaps were overlong and unnecessary, so we're not going to even bother with a recap tonight. We're just going to jump right in. I will say you are sailing out onto the Triangular Sea to go to the Island of Exiles to find and kill the dragon, Lupercalis fortissimo, so you can get some of his blood, so you can bathe the little baby Poppy in it, so she will not grow up to become a dragon. Which is a possibility, since one of her ancestors was raped by a bad dragon, and at puberty, she could turn into a dragon. Therefore, you guys are going out to get some dragon blood from the only dragon that you know about, which is Lupercalis fortissimo, who hasn't been heard of for about a generation, but he did go out about a generation ago and destroy a village and ate a bunch of virgins and return to the Isle of Exiles. So you've rescued the waterman from the honey wizard and the lighthouse bandits, and you're now sailing out over the sea after being fully rested for 24 hours and having all your hit points back, or your health. And we'll see if we can't kill that dragon tonight, although it seems a tall order, and I know it's something you guys are concerned about. But as of right now, you're just sailing along. And just to remind our listeners and to help you guys get back into character, let's just go ahead and I'll let you guys briefly introduce your character and what your basic gist is. And Lynn, why don't we start with you?
All right, well, I am playing the mesmerizing Madame Merrium Mordant, who's fortune teller, gorgeous fortune teller, purple baggy pantsuit, full genie style kind of dress, and yeah.
Okay.
She's all tattooed. And
yeah, and I believe you know some spells that could come in handy tonight as well.
I do.
Yeah. Okay, Colin, tell us all about Rufus Hambone.
Rufus Hambone is, I'm a fighter, and I got mutton chops, and I was a bounty hunter. I still might be, if I need to be. I got blood-stained clothing, and I got a bull neck. That's me.
Okay. And Ryan, tell us all about Puck, the fingersmith.
Well, he's a fingersmith, first of all. Well, that's probably the most important thing you did know. But he's in disguise. He's on the lam, on the run, as it were. So he's got a bit of a disguise. Normally he's a bit of a ginger, red hair, red beard, all that. But he shaved his beard off and made a bit of a concoction to dye his hair, which I should point out has, over time, as we've been adventuring and whatnot, kind of begun to wash off a bit.
Right.
So some of the
I can see your roots.
Yeah.
Red is starting to show, and he doesn't know. He hasn't looked in a mirror, so he thinks he's fine. But you guys probably noticed.
Okay. Well,
You need to touch up your regrowth.
Yeah, touch up
there.
Well, the waterman and his son Pablo were not certain exactly how long it would take to get to the Isle of Exiles. They did not want to go, but you saved his life, and they're afraid. And you set out across the sea. Now, luckily, it's not like a terribly choppy sea. They call it the Triangular Sea, so presumably its shape is triangular, but that's not really evident from, here where you are sailing on it. And after about mid-morning, the coast has disappeared behind you, and you're well out into the sea. And it's rather lovely, and most of the day passes without incident. You're able to fish, to get food. You don't have to use your rations. And it takes a while to get used to being on a boat, for those of you who haven't done it that much, but which is probably all of you. But eventually you get used to it. Maybe one or two of you throw up over the side at first, but like I say, it's a fairly gentle sea without a lot of massive waves or tides. And it's actually quite shallow, too, as the waterman points out to you. But on the second day, you can see some frantic activity. There's a little dot at first up ahead. You thought maybe it's a little fish jumping up and down out of the water or something, but as you get close, you can hear a voice. Help! Help! Help me! It's a female voice. Help! And this isn't, I don't want you to picture yourself on like a gigantic craft either, right? I mean, there's only about like 3 feet down to reach into the water or whatever, and one big sail. And as you get closer, you realize there is a woman. Where she came from, you don't know. She's splashing in the water. She's drowning. And you get close, beautiful blonde hair. Help me, please. I can't tread water for much longer. Help me.
Here we go again.
I've read about this. It's a siren. This is a song. It's not a good one, particularly, but I think it's a trap.
Oh? Well, it fooled me. I thought it was another needy citizen. We've been helping out people ever since we started. We're trying to get rich, and then we got sidetracked with all this baby business, and then now we got to go fight a dragon and all that. I just wanted to get some money in my pockets, and here we are. Now someone else is crying out for help, but you say it's a trap, so I don't know.
Oh, I've read about this. What say you, Captain, Mr. Waterman? You've plied these seas plenty of times, I'm sure.
I stay by the coast. I never go out too far. I'll leave it to you. You're the bold adventurers. For all your talk of mercenaryism and just wanting to get rich, you saved my life, though at great risk to your own. I think you might be softer than you let on.
Yeah, no. Shut up. I'm a bad man.
I just set a flashback to you going, could you goo to the baby, Anyway, I leave it to you. We could leave this woman to drown, or we could save her. That's up to you.
We cannot leave this woman to drown.
Puck's gonna lean over the edge of the boat and stare her down and try to determine if he thinks she actually is a siren. He's pretty convinced that she is, but he wants to search for evidence of something.
Okay, yeah. Why don't you go ahead and make a will roll just to see if you can see anything crazy, please. Now you imagine you're getting in pretty close now to be able to get a good look, and like I say, it's only about 3 feet down to the water line from where you lean over. And you could literally reach in and pull her out if you wanted to at this point. But you're just getting a good look at her. Please, thank you for stopping. Help me. Please. I was thrown overboard because I was resisting the advances of a terrible captain. And I've been treading water for hours and hours. I can't handle it much longer.
Well, that's going to be a 6 and a 4.
Well, there's something not right about this. Nobody could tread out water for as long as she's claiming to have been treading water. But maybe her sense of time is messed up. You have no way of telling whether she's a siren or anything else. You can see legs kicking around. She's wearing a shift, a little white shift, like a nightie almost. And, of course, she's soaked with water. She looks completely human. The only thing that seems weird is that she's, you don't think you could tread water for hours and hours and hours. Please. She lifts a hand up.
Do we have anything floatable? We could just throw her something.
A buoy or something?
Well, they don't have a buoy. You could throw her a line, I suppose, says the waterman. But please help me, please. I can't handle it much longer. She goes underwater for a minute and swallows some salt water and comes back up, spitting it up.
Puck is going to grab his dagger in his right hand and reach out and grab her hand with his other hand and help pull her aboard with his knife out at her throat.
Okay, you're holding the knife right to her throat. When you take her hand, though, she does try to yank you down into the water. So you've got the dagger, and you can certainly attack her with it, but if that's what you want to do, let's roll initiative. She's got a 6, unfortunately, so if you can get a 6, you can tie it.
I just got a...
Oh, no. Well, you're yanked into the water. Now you can certainly attack her now that you're down in the water. Now that you're in the water, and the second you go underwater and open your eyes just a little bit, you can see any illusion has been completely, dissipated now. She doesn't have legs. She's got a fish body, and there are dozens of other mermaids swimming up towards the surface. They don't look aggressive at all. They look happy, and they're swimming up towards you. But you can still stab her in the neck if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, well, yeah. Puck was pretty much anticipating this whole sequence of events. So I mean, he didn't. Of course, he lost initiative. So
he is suspicious.
But yeah, he's just gonna cut her fucking throat.
Okay. Well, let's hope so. Let's go ahead and roll. Her defense will be an 8. She's considered to be lightly armored, even though she just has skin and she's not wearing armor. It's good, thick skin. Got a touch of blubber. She's thick.
And that's just straight 2d6. No,
unless you took a attack bonus, which I think you did at one point when you leveled. Yeah,
that's right. 4, 5, 6, 7 plus 1, 8.
Well, okay, it hits her. Obviously, you need to do more than 8 for the difference, but a little bit of blood. You scratch her, not enough to completely hurt her. But all the other mermaids now are like swarming up, and they come bouncing up out of the water. And they say, "Sorry, we must take you, and they're all gathering around you. We need a new king, please. We're sorry for our subterfuge." There's quite a few of them now bouncing. There's a lot of them are coming up out of the water now, doing little dolphin-like jumps, and they seem playful and happy. One of them leaps up and winks at the water, and another one leaps up and blows a kiss at Rufus. And there are 4 or 5 of them all surrounding you now. "Please, would you come be our king? There are no males among us. Every 10 years we must find a man who can impregnate as many of us as possible. We could take any pleasing form you wish. Surely you have time. Surely you have time to come down among us and be our king."
Well, look, I'll come back and impregnate the lot of you once I kill this dragon.
What? You don't seriously mean you're on your way to kill Lupercalis Fortissimo?
That's right.
That's right.
You can't possibly. There are only 5 of you, and obviously only 3 of you are great warriors. Don't do it. It will be your death.
We have no choice. We're doing it for a child.
A child. We need children badly. I tell you, perhaps we can find a mutually beneficial arrangement. If the 3 of you will come with us, we can lead you to an underwater grotto. A maze, as it were, that could take you up into the Isle of Exiles. We even have an item that may help you. But of course, you must do something for us.
What is that?
Well, what? Yeah, what is it?
It is to become our king and impregnate as many of us as possible in a 24-hour period.
Well, look, but now between me and Rufus, we could probably get, several dozen of you. But, how many of you are there anyway?
Dozens and dozens of us. There are dozens of us! And now they leap and play, and they're obviously, aside from the fact that the lower half of their bodies are fish, they're gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous, the way you'd think mermaids were. We will protect you. We'll create a bubble of air around you, and you can come down to our grotto. Oh, please.
Well, but how are we gonna, what I mean? Like,
we will take any form that is pleasing to you.
But, I mean, if it's underwater and we have this bubble, how are we gonna be intimate? If
we can breathe air for short periods of time. We will enter the bubble of pleasure with you. Oh, please.
Okay.
And then we do have a weapon. We have a weapon that can hurt the dragon.
Okay. What
We're
kind
forced.
of...
Well, come with us and you will see. Oh, please.
I don't know about this, Rufus. What do you think?
Well, it sounds fishy, no pun intended, but we do need something to help us out. I mean, if we don't have some kind of help fighting this dragon, we might as well turn around now. I don't see how... I mean, I was just going to go and die and get it over with, but I mean, we actually have a chance, and we might want to take it.
Yeah, but I've got to shag all the mermaids. Seems a bit much.
Well, maybe for you. I've been around, I've bedded my share of beautiful, exotic women.
We will provide you with endless dishes of oysters that would give you unlimited ability and inexhaustible opportunity.
No, it is too perilous.
Nope, I'm sorry, it's too perilous. You're in great peril.
I'm glad somebody got that.
Yes. No, we have the Oysterus viagris grows in these waters, and we shall let you eat as many as is necessary. We must have a next generation, and it will be so long before another ship passes out this far. When we go close to the water, people kill us because they don't trust us. We apologize for our subterfuge, but we had no intention of hurting you. Merely pass some time and pleasure with us, and we will take you to the undersea grotto. We'll lead you up inside the Isle of Exiles. Think of it, then the dragon will never see your coming. For there in endless vigilance.
What do you think, Merrium?
Oh, don't ask her. She's gonna say, no, don't allow those guys to have their fun. Of course.
Are there mermen here?
No, that's the whole problem.
What do you do with your male babies?
We never have them. It's the strangest thing. Perhaps it was a great curse laid upon us long ago. Why do you think mermaids are always falling in love with sailors and shipwrecked castaways? It's because we need your sperm.
Well, yes, it does seem fishy, I must agree with Rufus. However, it also seems that they could have something to help us. This could play to the advantage. We have a way in that we can sneak up on the dragon and a weapon. There are advantages to helping. Plus, perhaps Rufus and Puck will be a little less tense and grumpy.
I'm always grumpy.
That's always good.
Dude, just take our hands then. I know, Puck's already in the water, but they reach up their hands to pull you down into the water with them if you'll let them.
I guess. I assume Merrium is coming as well.
Yes.
She's welcome, of course. And the waterman says, I'll circle several leagues outside the island and wait for you for several days. But good luck.
Yes, thank you. All right, I guess we'll keep an eye on these mermaids just in case they're still, trying to lie to us. But, I guess
it sounds like you'll be keeping more than an eye on them.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well,
we'll see.
They do create a great bubble of air in the water, and you guys can push it playfully, laughing. They're all very excited. And all the way down, and like I said, it wasn't like a totally deep sea, though, towards what looks like a castle made of coral. And it's quite beautiful, multicolored. Looks like the ads it used to have for the sea monkeys in the backs of comic books. But the mermaids themselves are quite attractive, and they float you through the great gates of their coral palace in your bubble of water into a great throne room that's full of glowing crystals and other sea creatures are swimming around who share their space with them. And nothing big and threatening or anything like that. And one of them comes into the bubble with you. Says, now, we must see which of you will be our king. I know that you had the impression that both of you might be suitable. However, we just let that go so you would come down and join your friend. No, we have one very strong requirement for the man who will be our king. But when I look at you now, I realize that it's a very long shot, but we can't help but feel that you, sir, they say, looking at you, Puck, may have colored your hair, for you see, only a ginger can impregnate a mermaid.
What? Oh.
Well, that's not what I heard, but truth is, I got red hair. What can I say? I'm in disguise. I'm on the run. Everybody knows anyway.
Yeah. Well, We do not know and we do not care, but we must make sure that you're actually a ginger. We need to make sure, sir. Can you please...
They want to know if the carpet matches the drapes.
Sounds to me that's exactly what they want to know.
Oh, I've only got hardwood. Sorry, that joke worked on too many levels.
Yeah, it is. Too many levels. Well, if you agree, to demonstrate your gingerness, then they all begin clapping and lining up, making a queue outside your little bubble of water. And the one who's in there wrinkles her nose like Samantha on Bewitched, and suddenly her fishtail becomes two beautiful long legs. And we won't role play all the details, but you suddenly, when you see her like that, you don't have too much problem rising to the occasion. And they keep cramming you full of oysters, which must have some magical property. The Oysteris Viagris, which
Little blue oysters.
yeah, the little blue oysters just give you, all kinds of. The other two, come here where you'll be more comfortable, and they create another bubble. And they take you off to another part of the. Now we mentioned to you. We mentioned to you.
Apology.
Well, we are sorry for our subterfuge, but we needed you to come with your friend. And we are very happy that you go to slay the dragon, Lupercalis fortissimo. However, and this is once you two are in your own bubble, right? And they're taking you out to another part of the throne room where what's going on in the sex bubble is somewhat obscured by distance. And but the dragon is very fierce and very powerful. We have a weapon that we have used against sea dragons, his seaborn cousin, to great effect. It is the Thrice-Great spear. Would you like to see it?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Well, she reaches behind a throne-like incrustation of coral and pulls out a long spear. It's like 12 feet long. It's got a huge blue steel tip with like barbs and spikes on it and serrated edges. And she goes, "This is the Thrice-Great spear. And if you use this on him, you could have some effect. It will do triple the normal amount of wounds that would normally be caused." So it's basically a triple damage spear. However, it may only be wielded by one who is pure of heart. So if one of you are pure of heart, then you certainly may wield the Thrice-Great spear.
What do you mean by pure of heart?
You're busy having sex in a different bubble right now, so...
I'm sure that Rufus is pure of heart. Of course he is.
Of course I
I've
am.
seen him. He may put off a tough exterior, but he is pure and kind and good on the inside.
Tell us, why do you wish to kill the dragon? Is it just because he's a dragon and you wish to sell his dragon parts for money?
No, it's because of a dumb baby I don't even like. And
He loves the baby. Don't listen to
Yes,
him.
his eyes betray him. His words say it's a dumb baby, but his eyes say that he loves the baby.
can't
Meanwhile-
even talk.
Meanwhile, you're on round 4, Puck, and you just keep on going. Luckily, you don't last very long anyway on a normal basis, so you can get a lot done in a limited time. And unfortunately, our listeners might not appreciate Ryan and I simulating sex, on a microphone. So, not again.
I would appreciate it, though.
Not again.
I would appreciate it greatly.
Yeah.
Please do.
Well, on our when we do our outtakes reel someday, maybe. But no, art thou pure of heart then, O Rufus Hambone?
Well, I'll say this. I've always tried to do the right thing. I've never been a criminal. In fact, I've hunted down criminals for my career. I do justice. And, I mean, if I'm not pure of heart, I don't know who is.
That is a fair answer. Then take this spear, brother. May it serve you well. But we only have one request, that you cast it into the sea once you have killed the dragon.
Yeah, fine.
We will tell you another secret we know of him. He is very, very old. Now, as you know, dragons never get weaker with age as a general rule, but he was hit with great blasts by the Ice Wizard many hundreds of years ago. The Ice Wizard, of course, is dead, but his magic remains. And the scales on Lupercalis fortissimo are quite fragile. He has very fragile scales. Therefore, his defense is not what it should be. And this could also be a boon to you. For fighting a dragon can be terrible. Terrible. Also, we can give you some hope in that because of the ancient freezing that the dragon endured, and over the years, his muscles have thawed out. But it used to be that when he fought someone, he could bite them and claw them twice and stomp on them twice and lash them with his tail. You might say he used to be able to do a claw, bite, stomp, tail lash. But now he is only capable of a claw, bite. Perhaps this will make your almost impossible task slightly easier. Between that and his fragile scales and this thrice-great spear that you now possess temporarily. Hopefully...
Does he breathe fire?
Oh, yes, he breathes fire. And he has terrible breath. He suffers from an outrageous case of halitosis. And you should be able to find him simply by following the smell. Once you reach the island, which we can, again, take you to an underwater grotto that will lead you there.
Yeah, sounds good.
Well, let us refresh you. And they bring out some sparkling sea cucumber wine, and don't ask me how they made it in the first place, but they bring you some sparkling sea cucumber wine and some other delicacies, like a little sweet cake that's made of some sea cow cheese and seaweed. And
Don't mind if I do.
Don't mind if I do. And it's quite tasty. And
Yeah.
you all wait for this interminable period, though. It's like 12 hours. As soon visibly exhausted Puck swims back in to your little bubble of air where you guys have been waiting.
It's all emaciated.
Yeah, he's like all, he's very tired and holding onto his groin, perhaps. And, well, but thank you for serving us so well, the great Puck. You will know now, every time for the next generation, as you look out into the waters, that you are the sire of dozens and dozens of new young mermaids. Just don't come back again and do the same things. You might accidentally have sex with one of your daughters, and that would be disturbing for everyone.
Well, I'll make sure not to, do any of that. That would be, quite wrong.
It would be wrong on many levels. Well, we thank you so much, and again, we apologize for our trickery, but you see this as a matter of the survival of our species. Now, come this way, and we shall show you the entrance to the underwater grotto. Because of air pressure here, and they step up out of the water into an underground cave, they're still dripping and everything. Because of strange differentials in air pressure, there's no water here. If you should travel for perhaps a day, then you should come up through the caves beneath the caverns where Lupercalis fortissimo sleeps. If you're lucky, you will find him asleep. This way you will not have to approach across the island, for he would surely notice and hear your approach. And if he was awake, he might sense the sails of your ship. So we offer you good luck, and we thank you again, Puck, for giving us a good... I'm not going to say it. All right.
He won't say fuck. He won't do it.
I won't say fuck. I won't do it. I won't say fuck. All right. So I'll assume that you guys will go ahead and follow your way along this underground passage, this underwater passage, really. You're always constantly afraid it's going to fill with water again suddenly, some terrible air pressure thing will happen. But you travel for most of the day, feeling pretty good. Again, this spear is heavy, it's big. It's a two-handed weapon, obviously. You're not going to be able to use your two-handed sword. And I think we can agree that you've demonstrated that you are fairly pure of heart. After all, you've always ended up helping people and doing the right thing. And so,
yeah, reluctantly, but he does.
Yeah. And if you ever did have any doubt, I don't think you did, about Puck's true identity. Certainly, you don't have those doubts anymore now that it's been quite clearly demonstrated that he's a natural ginger.
Oh, I'm bringing your ass in, for sure, if we live.
Well, after about, like I said, they were not wrong. I mean, they said about a day of travel, but after what feels like walking for a good 8 hours, getting dripped on occasionally, passing weird incrustations, and every now and then little flopping fish that make you worry that this could occasionally be plunged into the depths underwater. You do start climbing upward. Not on stairs, but there's the trail moves upward, and suddenly the walls aren't so damp anymore, other than some salt incrustations. You don't see any more little flipping fish, and suddenly the worst smell that you have ever smelled. I mean, it smells like death. If you ever had like a dead mouse or something somewhere in your house and you can't find it, just a nasty, nasty smell, and it gets stronger and stronger as you get closer, and eventually the passage ends. You peer up out of it's like goes almost straight up. You have to scamper up and climb, and you find yourself in the middle of a huge chamber that is lit by that same glowing red fungus you saw in the caverns of the goblins. This must be a fairly common species of fungus that lights up underground areas, and it's a huge cavern, a natural cavern. There's a great big opening. It's definitely big enough for a dragon to get out on the other side, and coiled in this massive gleaming heap is a huge black dragon. The scales, however, do look rather brittle with age, like they've been frozen, and when they unfroze they became cracked and fragile, and the dragon is sleeping. And of course the myths must be true and the legends about dragons, because he happens to be sleeping on a massive pile of gold. It may not be as big of a pile as some dragons have, but it's the pile he's got. And he snores, and every time he breathes out, when he snores, you can see like smoke coming out of his terrible nostrils. And every time he breathes out, you're just hit with a fresh flood of this absolutely insanely bad death breath, halitosis, that this dragon has. And what do you do?
Well, right. Well, if we're gonna make our move, we might as well do it while it's sleeping.
Strike with the spear first.
Yeah, but see, we're gonna have to get close enough without, making noise, stepping on all those coins and stuff. Might be difficult.
It's absolutely true.
Well, I'm pretty sneaky.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, you might be a little quieter than me. I'm a bit heavy. Got a heavy foot. Maybe you ought to sneak up there and hit it with the first strike.
Now, if we can agree that Puck is pure of heart, he can use the spear.
No, Puck is not
pure.
Yeah, I don't think we can agree to
but
that.
He does
Not
have
a
like
chance.
3 fresh vials of poison, though, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. So...
Oh, now, I want to remind everyone of our blessing.
That's right,
that
thank
we
you.
received.
Yep.
One time, so none of us have used it yet, I don't think.
Nope, we have not.
And I forgot what it did. It was just
We automatically succeed at one test, is what I wrote down.
Well, and if it's an attack, then you can be assumed to have rolled the maximum that it would have been possible for you to roll.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, we'll definitely probably need that.
But the longer you sit there and chit-chat and whisper, I got to roll to see if our dragon friend... Well, that's an absolute shit roll. Snake eyes. He still seems quite sound asleep.
Right, well... What say I sneak up there and give him a stabby stab with me dagger. some poison on it. It'll probably wake him up. You're going to have to use that special weapon on him.
Yeah. I'm gonna follow
Yes, and
up.
perhaps I can paralyze him before he gets a chance to attack us.
Well, there's that.
By
Yeah.
a moment, at least.
By a round or two, yeah. Okay. Well, do you want to try to make a sneaky approach there, Puck?
Yeah, I guess I'll give it a shot.
So, creeping out across the gold-strewn cavern. Again, and this breath, I mean, is so bad. There's no game effect, but it's like enough to make you gag, and your eyes water.
And I'm going to roll here, add dex.
Add your
or
dex,
no?
yeah. Add your dex bonus, and we are...
Oh my god. So I rolled a 6, so that... Or, I'm sorry, I rolled a 4, a 3 and a 1, so plus 3, 7.
That's definitely going
which
to
is
wake
not
up the beast, unless you'd like to go ahead and use your automatic success.
Yeah, I think I will.
Okay.
Just,
Okay, in that case, you get right up to him. What part of his body, like? Head, butt, foot?
head, neck area.
Okay. You claim it. You're right up next to him. He looks a lot bigger, here close up, but he's not the biggest dragon in the world. Red dragons are huge. Black dragons are bigger than you, but could be worse. So you're right up next to him. You're right up next to him. So when you make this attack with your dagger, it will be an advantage. You'll get advantage with it, and his defense is luckily much lower than it would normally be because of his past wounds with the ice wizard that made his scales so fragile.
And so his defense is what now?
His defense is now a 7. It should really be like a 12.
All right. Well, I'm gonna
Here comes that stab, and take advantage on this. So 3d6, pick the 2 highest. Add your attack bonus.
Oh, well, 6, 1, 6 plus 1, so 13.
13. That's what we're talking about. So what's the difference between 7 and 13? Mr. Sean is blanking on math.
5.
That's why I have to.
No.
6.
Six.
6. Yeah. Jesus, I'm an idiot.
I know. We are math dumb. You do 6 points. You do 6 points of damage to him. That's the type of damage you need to be doing. All right. Now you know that creatures in this game don't have like as many hit points as they do in other typical fantasy type games. I mean, the damage is usually fairly less, but 6 is certainly not enough to kill a dragon. But it hurts him, and he screams the top of his lungs. He doesn't breathe out fire, but he wakes up and shoots his whole neck up into the air and looks down and says, "What is this? Interlopers in my domain." And of course he looks down at you and sees, oh wait, not only did you do 6 though, you did 6 with poison.
Oh, yeah.
So that would double the damage, correct?
Is that what we decided?
I believe we did.
I think. Yes, dip dagger.
So it's really 12. And I'm going to remind you of that because you're going to need it. Okay. And he's hurt. He screams. He's angry. Interlopers at my domain. And now we'll go ahead and roll initiative. And he's got a 3.
Alright, I'll go.
The Great Dragon has a 3 initiative.
I got a 5.
I smell 3 of you. And you have a 5. And so you guys will take the initiative. And why don't we go ahead and start with you, Puck, since you're so close.
Well, I'm just gonna dip and stab again.
All right, dip and stab. Here comes second dose of poison. And you've got the 3.
And no advantage, I assume.
No, not this time.
That is just gonna be a 6. So I
No, you miss. And how about you, Rufus?
I will rush in and attack with the Thrice-Great spear.
All right. Charging across the gold coin-strewn floor.
There goes nothing! Ah!
And plus 2 would be a 10.
Okay. Hey, guess what? 10 does him. That does 3 points of damage. Times 3 is 9. Because of the Thrice-Great Spear.
Okay, yeah.
And that means you've done 21 points of damage to the terrible dragon already, just before it could do anything. Madam Merrium Mordant, what do you do? Because, after you go, it's going to be the turn of the terrible dragon, Lupercalis Fortissimo.
Yes,
or will it?
And I will attempt... Let's hope not. I will attempt to cast Paralyzing Storm.
Okay. This should paralyze him briefly. This could give you guys another round of combat against him before he's able to attack. Either with his horrible breath weapon, which must be extra bad when you smell that breath, or his claw bite that you've heard that he can do.
I rolled a 9.
Right. Well, you don't have to roll to cast the spell. And you cast it, therefore I can't cast it again today. And the great terrible creature seems to seize up. Oh, cramp, he yells. I have a cramp, yells the great dragon, and he can't quite move. And I'll kill all of you. You'll be so dead. I'll roast you, and I'll tell you. But he can't quite move, and he's like hopping around on one. His cramp is so bad he's not going to be able to act on his turn. Oh no! So even though he lost the initiative on that turn, he does not get to go, and he's going to miss his turn. Let's roll initiative again, and he must have a really bad cramp because I just rolled a 1 for Lupercalis. If you guys kill this dragon without it doing any damage to you, then I will know that I made him too weak, and the next time there's a dragon, but he's an old dragon, and you need all the help you can get. But unless, you guys automatically are going to win the initiative because you win ties, and he's rolled a 1. So, Merrium, I think we'll go ahead and start with you. We'll flip the order this time. What do you do?
Withering Chaos.
Oh no, she waves her hands, the magic winds circle about her, and she casts Withering Chaos. What are you doing? Don't do it, says Lupercalis Fortissimo. Because as you can see, dragons are quite intelligent, and they can speak.
8 points of damage.
Okay, and we agreed that was going to be triple damage, did we not? When we figured out your spell, and so that's going to be 24 more points of damage to him. Now you're out of spells, but you've done 45 points of damage to the dragon, which is significant, an incredible burst out and attack. Great job. Is it even possible that you could potentially kill him right here, right now? I guess mathematically it is potentially possible. Because you've all got some big damage you're doing. Let's go ahead and go with Puck. I know we didn't fully reverse the order, but Puck, you got 1 dose of poison left. Would you like to use it? Dip and stick?
I would.
All right.
Oh, snake eyes!
Oh no! You're unable to connect. Their dagger bounces off the fragile scales. Guess that scale wasn't quite so fragile. And how about Rufus Hambone?
Yeah. Alright, here you go.
I forgot what I need to get to hit.
His defense is 7 because of his brittle old scales.
Well, I did roll an 8.
And of course it should be much, much higher. But you're going to do 3 points of damage then because you tripled. Triples your damage. You guys have him at 48 points of damage. Not that you're counting, per se, but you can see that he's weakening and surprised. And then, of course, it is his turn. He's lost 1 action due to being momentarily paralyzed, but he's a huge dragon. And he leans back and he takes a deep breath in and then fills the chamber with horrible flame. He doesn't roll to hit you. You make a dexterity roll to not get hit. And your target number, I hate to tell you this, is 10.
13.
Hey, you roll out of the way, hide behind a pound of treasure. You can feel that nasty smelling flame breath pass right over you, Puck. What about the rest of you?
I actually rolled a 12.
Hey, that's great. You two have barely avoided. And how about Madam Merrium Mordant?
I believe it is time for me to take advantage of my blessing.
Oh, you probably could, because it's a big, nasty bit of damage if he hits you with this. Yeah, it could potentially almost kill you. And that's what he chose to do, though. So he doesn't manage to hit any of you. Oh! He cries out in absolute rage and frustration. And that was a round. We're rolling again. He has a 5 this time. And who's going to roll?
Someone else.
Okay. Lynn, why don't you roll? Here we go.
I roll a 1.
Uh-oh. Oh, no! Well,
Damn
he reaches down, because you rolled a 1 perhaps, he reaches down and he's so angered that he thought he had you, and then somehow he didn't have you in his flame. You know, he must know it's the blessing of the gods. And it says, let's see you bless your way out of this. And he tries to take a huge bite of you. And I'm going to roll a 14 for him. And what's your defense again, Merrium?
7.
Oh, God. Well, you know.
That is quite a chunk.
Yeah, that's quite a chunk. He took a terrible bite. Then he claws at Rufus, but he only... Well, that's a 10. That does a little bit to you, doesn't it, Rufus?
It'll do 3 points.
Yeah, okay. And then finally... well, he sees your snake eyes last time, Puck, and he comes back with snake eyes. Second snake eyes he has rolled. Third snake eyes of our game. And so you get the feeling, though, if he has a good round, though, it could maybe kill you flat out with the breath weapon, and if he gets lucky, really hurt you with the claw bite. Especially if he did the claw bite to just one of you, which he can certainly do. Well, now you see my wrath. Now you know what you're up against, little folk. And I believe it is your turn. And we're going to go with Rufus.
All right, stop your boasting, dragon. It's time for you to die.
I'll die long after you're underground, little man.
I rolled, let's see, 8 plus 2, 10 again.
Okay. No, that's good, because you remember you're tripling the
Yeah.
damage. You guys are up into the 50s now. I think you can do this. Puck, what do you do?
Oh, well, Puck is out of poison, but he's gonna, I guess, just non-poison stuff.
Yeah, every little bit helps at this point, I'll just tell you.
Oh, that's just gonna be a 6.
Okay, well, it's not gonna really connect and break the skin. You're not even breaking his skin. Ha! He gloats. And
piss off, dragon.
And Madam Merrium Mordant. You get...
Right, I will try my sling.
Pah! Petty little sling.
It is, in fact, a petty little sling. I got a
That
6.
bounces right off his... Even with my damaged scales, you're no match for me. I'm not even much of a dragon as far as dragons go, you pathetic weaklings. Ha! And, now we will roll initiative again. And he has a 4.
Well, I'll roll this time, and I will roll a 3.
Oh, no! So, he, tries to bite you, Puck, and 9. Does 9 hit you? Barely, right?
Let me check. I think it armor's 8, but let me just double check. Yes.
It is 8. Okay, well, he does do 1 point of damage to you, but luckily he doesn't get a good bite. The teeth just graze you. And he, oh no, Madam Merrium Mordant. He's got a 12 on his attack with his claw. That's going to do 4 more points of damage to you, and I don't know how much health you have, but you could be in serious trouble.
Am at negative.
Oh no! You see, you're just a 0, but you see her go down. Someone has to get her some medicine this round, so pour it down her throat. And then, her I'll eat later. I will savor her flesh. The rest of you
dare.
The rest of you, I'll eat quickly and shit you out. And I swallow your soul as well, not just when I swallow you, your soul is mine forever. And he does tries to make his final claw attack on you, and oh shit. He also rolled a 12 this time. And that's going to do, well, what's your defense again, Rufus?
7.
Okay. Yeah, he's going to do 4 points of damage to you. And run away. Leave your little friend here for me to eat. And maybe I won't chase you. Go ahead and run away. Leave your little friend. You could tell, though, he's terribly wounded. I mean, he's got scales falling off of him. There's blood pouring out. He's huffing and puffing. You think at this point he might be actually a little bit concerned, you know, because you've got a very good sense that you've really, really hurt him pretty bad. And it is your turn. And, again, Merrium is out of it. You know, she's lying there bleeding out. Someone needs to get her some medicine. Any volunteers?
Why don't you do that? Because I'm going to spend my blessing and I'm going to end this goddamn overgrown lizard.
What did you call me, you overgrown monkey?
What? Why, you...
We have similar voices. We must have gone to the same school of diction back in the day. All right, so I'm going to assume that Puck rushes over and shoves some medicine down Merrium's throat.
Yeah.
And that Rufus attacks with the Thrice-Great spear.
Which I am...
Which you're using your blessing, so you roll a maximum that you can roll, which would be 12 plus whatever your...
So that would be...
14, right?
14, and it is... Does it have an armor class of what now? 7?
7. Its defense is 7. And purists will know that it's only because of his fragile scales. But...
So 7 times 3 is 21.
21. No, not there! Oh, I'm hit! He rolls around. He's so dramatic. He rolls back. You know, he puts his palm up against his forehead. Oh, woe is me! The great career of Lupercalis Fortissimo is at an end. And then he falls down right towards you, Rufus. Make a dexterity test to not get landed on. He staggers back and forth and falls. He's going to smash you if you don't get out of the way.
Well, I rolled with dexterity. That's be an 8.
No. Well, you take 4 points of damage. Just smash your leg. You have to crawl, pull your leg out.
At 0.
No, you're 0 too. So, Puck, now you're the only one still standing, even though Lupercalis Fortissimo is dead. You're going to have to rush over now and give some medicine to Rufus.
I've got one on my belt.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, you guys have each got about, you got your 1 health now. You're up. You realize you can't believe it. You've done it. You thought it was going to be much harder, although it did almost kill 2 of you, even a very, very, very weak dragon. You got really lucky with some good rolls at the beginning. I was, and our listeners should know, as unsatisfying as it would have been, I was completely willing and ready, to do a total party kill on this one. It would have been a nice ending in itself, but it looks like you're going to have a happy ending after all. I'm assuming you're going to have to get out your wineskins and find any gold vessels you got here and just fill it up with enough blood that you think a baby could take a bath in. But, if you've ever given a baby a bath, you do that in a kitchen sink. It's not... You don't need a ton of dragon blood. So we'll assume you can get the dragon blood, and eventually you may... We won't make Go ahead.
Well, we did start off our journey looking for riches, and here we are with a dead dragon lying on a pile of riches.
Oh, pile of riches. Yeah, you can gather up as much of those riches as you can, but you've got the real treasure in this blood. But I'll assume you weigh down your packs to where you're fully encumbered, right? And you're like,
abso-frickin-lutely.
Trudge out of there and start imagining the townhouse you could possibly purchase in Illyria now, or, and we won't make a big adventure out of it, but it takes a while to find your way out, because it's like you go back the way you came, but, you know that the waterman is waiting for you, sailing a few leagues offshore, and it's like a maze going through and getting out of here, but it's after dark by the time you get up there. So we'll assume you light some kind of signal fire. We won't go into a great deal of detail. And eventually you're back on the boat with the waterman who can't believe it. And but I tell you, the mermaids were certainly happy, says the waterman, leaping and frolicking all day.
Well, they should have been.
Oh, I cannot believe that you have done it. I can't believe this. I will tell the story of my family for generations. And so without incident, you do... yeah.
I gotta chuck that spear into the water.
That's right. Thank you for remembering to do that. Chuck it back into the water. And like the Lady of the Lake, a hand raises out and like catches it in slow motion. Says, "Fare thee well, father of our children." And she sinks back into the waves. And the journey back to the coast occurs without incident. And there's no bandits or anyone else to molest you as you go back across the scrublands. And by, midday the next day, you reach Illyria. And we won't roleplay it out, but you go in and triumph to the Temple of the 30-Sided God, where you're reunited with little Poppy, who's so happy to see you. So happy to see you. She giggles and takes a bath in the dragon blood. And the priestess says, "Congratulations. She is now free of the taint of her ancestry. And she will grow up to be a normal girl. Congratulations."
You sure?
Absolutely
You sure she's not going to be a dragon? Thank the gods.
Well, as soon as you say thank the gods, there's this terrible sound as if a building has fallen down. There's screams out in the street. You rush back out in the street, and there are soldiers, people rushing towards the the main gates of Illyria that you came into, and some crowds are running away. "It's a giant! A giant's attacking the gates!" And you hear this voice, "Where are those big dummies that took my eye? I know those big dummies are here somewhere. Where are you, dummies? You haven't seen the last of Ignatius. You're dead. Do you hear me? D-E-D. Dead!" And that's where we'll go ahead and end our adventures.
That fucking idiot giant.
You're the idiot! All right. So we know that was 6 episodes. We usually do 3 most of the time. Sometimes we've gone a little longer. We've been on every week for 6 weeks. So we're going to take those of you who are listening, in real time as they come out, we're going to take a 2-week break before our next episode. And I feel safe saying that next time you see us, in the meantime, we're going to be practicing running in slow motion and working on our tans, because Goonie is going to take us through a game of Beach Patrol next time.
Woohoo! Yeah, technically Beach Patrol Nights, which is not a separate game, but it's just if you want to get a little weird with it, there's a section in the book where you can call it Beach Patrol Nights. So it'll definitely be getting weird.
Okay. Well, then in 2 weeks, we'll see you after a 2-week break, and we will get weird.
Lupercalis, fragile skeletal dragon, halitosis is awful breath that causes death. It's really quite ferocious. He says he has the biggest dash, but he's just braggadocious. Lupercalis, fragile skeletal dragon, halitosis. Because I was afraid to speak when I was just a lad. My father gave me nose a tweak and said that I was bad. My therapist says this has led me to a life of crime. We gotta kill this dragon or I'll end up doing time. Lupercalis, fragile skeletal dragon, halitosis is awful breath that causes death. Is really quite ferocious. He says he has the biggest dash, but he's just braggadocious. Lupercalis, fragile skeletal dragon, halitosis. The dragons are a problem when they make a human child. We need his blood to keep the poor young girl from going wild. I reckon we'll be famous if we slay him and return. And if we don't, it's probably cause we died from breathy burns. Lupercalis, fragile skeletal dragon, halitosis is awful breath that causes death. It's really quite ferocious. He says he has the biggest dash, but he's just braggadocious. Lupercalis, fragile skeletal dragon, halitosis.
Hey everybody, if you like our podcast, don't forget to leave us a good rating and or review on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, Spotify, or wherever you're able. Subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter at Goonies_world, and check out our website at GooniesWorldPodcast.com. Email us at GooniesWorldPodcast@gmail.com. Thank you for listening.